I don't have a fancy countdown clock. Oh, come on, LinkedIn. You could do this. There we go. Okay. LinkedIn. Come on. Give me the feed. Give me the feed. There we are. Okay, everybody wave hello. Wave hello to LinkedIn. Come on, wave hello to Facebook. Wave hello to YouTube and wave hello virtually to the Voice America Business Channel. Okay, Matt, let's do this.
All right, here we go. Have a great show.
Thank you.
Where does yesterday's future, which is already here, meet today's future, which is about to happen, and tomorrow's future, which could be just minutes away? Welcome to Technology Revolution, the future of now, where host Bonnie D. Graham asks savvy futurists for their predictions about the tech-driven trends that are shaping our future right now. Here's your host, who will take us into the future of now, Bonnie D. Graham.
Thank you to the wonderful voice who introduces me. It's time for Technology Revolution. It's Wednesday. Where else would Bonnie D be? Now, I have a proposal for my audience around the world. I hope you don't take this too personally, but let's get engaged. What? She's saying? Seriously? I don't know you. I've been following you for years. I'm one of the millions of people who watch and listen to your shows. Let's get engaged. Bonnie, what do you have in mind? Well, our topic today, Kirsten's saying, what the hell is she doing with this topic? I'm sorry, what the heck? She's a very polite lady. The topic is the future of social media in all of its glory and the ramifications and artificial intelligence. Let's get engaged. And AI. What is AI doing for us? How is it helping with content creation and sentiment analysis and writing prompts and ideation and all of that timing? And when do we post? Where do we post? What do we do? That's what we're talking about, social media and AI. So I want to welcome my guests. I will name them in my opening poem, and I have a quiz. Kirsten, you can't take the quiz because you know the answer already, but everybody else can. So let me start with my poem. It's a little bit long today. When I say your name, please wave wildly so the audience can see you and identify you. And let's see, my LinkedIn is frozen here, so let's get that flow going. Okay, here we go. Now, good day, global audience, to our tech-filled space where the future unfolds at an electrifying pace. Welcome to Technology Revolution, our Future of Now rendezvous, where host Bonnie D on her Scarlett mic explores the future with a fresh view. In the realm of social media and AI, conversations will transcend. Let's get engaged with boundaries to bend. In a world where data flows like a stream, AI's role in social media is more than a dream. From algorithms to engagement, it crafts the scene, bringing precision, connection, and everything in between. Kirsten Boileau is with us again and again and again, a maestro. I could say mistress, a maestro in learning's domain. From SAP to Tyro, she built programs that sustain. With expertise in role-based learning and development's art, Kirsten helps businesses grow right from the start. What'd you think, Kirsten? You like it?
I love that. Yeah, I might borrow it.
I rent these poems out. I negotiate a fee with you. I rent these. Sylvie
Sounds good.
Lachkar is with us. Bienvenue, Sylvie. There she is with 34 years. 34 years. She doesn't look it. 34 years of tech finesse. Co-author of Mastering Social Selling, written with prowess. An entrepreneur now, guiding enterprises with grace. Sylvie leverages networks. A leader in the space. Did you like that?
I love it.
Oh,
As
good.
usual. As usual.
I'll rent that to you too. Joao Branquinho, I hope I'm saying that right. A CMO with global flair. From Lisbon to Miami, his vision is rare. At Always Notary, he melds AI with social strategy, bringing teams together with fun and ingenuity. Joao, what'd you think?
Love it. I'll take it.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll make a group rental rate. We'll get it down. Shelley-Ann Cowan is with us, a newcomer. You're a specialist in tech's embrace. From Think LP to Salesforce, Shelley-Ann sets the pace. A mentor and a coach with forums that inspire. She blends AI tools with training, fueling the fire. Shelley-Ann, what'd you think?
I think I'll pay you later for that.
Okay. She's the first taker. So listen, tune in, watch, or listen as we predict upcoming trends for the future of social media and AI, where excitement never ends. Let's dive into the conversation and make it resound with Bonnie D and her Scarlett mic at her virtual table round. So what'd you all think? Pretty cool?
Very
I
good.
love it. It was
Okay,
excellent.
here's the deal. I go to ChatGPT. I still use that, not the other LLMs. And I say, write me an opening monologue. This is the title of the episode today. Bonnie D or Scarlett Mike. It knows all that. And then I put in all of your bios. Now, you all know your bios are maximum 1,000 characters. Shelley-Ann's was a little brief. You were very respectful. Everybody else hit the 1,000-character mark. I give it all of those, and I keep writing dash, and I add bio, bio, bio. And then I hit the submit button. Okay, Kirsten, you can't play this game. Joao, Sylvie, and Shelley-Ann, how long did it take before ChatGPT gave me back the core of that poem? I edited it, but the core of that poem, which is about 90% of what you heard, how long? Hold your hand up if it was minutes. How many minutes? Minutes? Okay. If it was seconds, how many seconds?
I would
Joao?
go 5 seconds.
5 seconds, 5. Shelley-Ann, 2. Okay. I don't want to shock you
Good.
all, but it's down to 1.5 seconds now.
Yeah. Mm.
If I
It's
say
incredible.
1,000, before I say 2, it's there. It's unbelievable. And then I go in, I compare it to your bios, and I change some of the words, and I make the rhymes things I would like to say. So thank you very much. I love doing these poems. Kirsten, I've been doing these for about a year now, and I do them on all of my shows, and I will make a group rental rate for all of you. So let's go around the table and find out who you really are. Take 2 to 3 minutes for your bio. Then we'll do a quick round of opening quotes, and I can't wait to get to the predictions. Kirsten, I have known you for years from SAP. So happy. I helped you with your first onstage presentation. I think it was a lecture at a
did.
podium for LinkedIn. And I talked about wearing comfortable shoes and jewelry that doesn't distract and jingle. And you told me it was very helpful, and I'm glad. So Kirsten Boileau, welcome. I'm putting you on speaker view. Would you please regale us, bring us up to date? What have you been up to?
Thanks, Bonnie. I'm so happy to be here with you. So yeah, I spent almost 17 years at SAP and ran SAP's global social selling program for a very long time. So LinkedIn is kind of my favorite social media tool. Speaking of social media today, about a year and a half ago, I left SAP and started my own company called Tyro Consulting. And I do learning and development consulting, or you can also call me like a fractional CLO, Chief Learning Officer, where I come in and help small businesses that don't have the resources for nor need someone full-time in a learning role, but still need support for learning. And so I come in and can do anything from one-off workshops on specific topics all the way through to setting up learning pathways for the entire organization. And so that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm having a fantastic time. The model has taken a little bit of time to kind of catch on, because there's nobody here that I can find, and certainly in Kitchener-Waterloo region, that actually does what I do. So getting that word out and helping people understand exactly what it is has taken a bit of time, but it's starting to catch on, and I'm thrilled with the success I've had so far.
We're very proud of you and happy for you.
Thank you.
Wish you the best. And is AI a boost to social media? Yes or no, Kirsten? Because we have a lot to talk about.
I believe it is. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. I like that optimism. Sylvie Lachkar, I've known you from my SAP days as well, and you just went out on your own. Sylvie, I'm putting you on speaker view. Sylvie, are you in Paris, or where? How close to Paris are you?
I'm just back to Paris now because there's the Olympics, so
That's right.
I need to take part of that. So and Paris is just a fun place to be, actually. So yeah, I spent 19 years at SAP. I was part of the social selling program with Kirsten. I think it was 11 years ago or 12 years ago. I mean, time is going on so fast. And I deployed the social selling program in Europe, and then had several roles. The last one was to help executives and their teams to use social media the best to reach their purpose. Now I have decided to leave the company. I'm 60 years old, so close to the end of my career. So I wanted to build something new. I just got 60 in June, and now so I'm going to help other companies to use social media properly, whatever their roles are, executive or salespeople, small and medium business or large enterprises. I haven't started yet because I'm on holiday now, and I will create my company in September.
Lovely. And by the way, happy birthday.
Thank you.
How do we say that in French? Joyeux anniversaire or
Joyeux anniversaire.
anniversaire? I remember little snippets of my French. By the way, Sylvie, I am a big fan of French detective shows. I binge on Candice Renoir, Alice Nevers' Murder Inn, which is at a different French village all the time, Meurtre en, and I watch all of those shows and I try to pick up remnants of the French I used to speak fairly well, not like you, and I watch the subtitles, but the beauty of those shows is you can't be doing something else and multitasking because you'll miss the subtitle of what they're saying. So you gotta watch all the time. Eat your dinner here or watch okay, don't spell anyway. I love those shows. So I've been binging. Everybody says, "What? You watch subtitles?" I listen to the French. It's beautiful, just beautiful. And who
So
can
we can
beat
talk together later on if you want.
who can beat Cécile Bois and Antoine and that romance and Alice and Marcon? Come on, I'm in love with all of them. Okay, let's go on. Joao Branquinho, you come to us through Kirsten. She recommended you, engaged you for us. See, we're getting engaged today. That's the theme. Joao, we can't wait to meet you. Take your full 3 minutes because we don't know anything about you except what I said in the poem. So please introduce yourself and welcome. Go ahead.
So thank you, first of all, for the invitation to be here, and Kirsten for the introduction. I actually was working with SAP for 22 and a half years, so worked very closely with Kirsten and also was in some social selling deployment programs. Sylvie was running in EMEA, I was running it in Latin America and also in Moscow. So I've been a little bit all over the world. Started working at SAP Portugal, then moved to SAP Dubai, then SAP Moscow out of Russia. And for the last 10, 11 years in Miami, responsible for the Latin American market in terms of digital execution and partner marketing and all the social selling, social advocacy, social listening programs in the region. And for the last 2 years, while I was at SAP, responsible for driving the global demand center digital execution worldwide, with more than 110 people within my team and another 300 external resources in agencies supporting the full execution of the company. Since I left SAP, we, together with my wife, we created 2 companies. So Always Notary, focused on the notary business itself, where my wife is an expert. She was doing that while she was working in Russia. And also another little startup project that we started, Joao Alex, where we are focusing actually a lot on AI and content creation, assets creation, everything based on AI, which has been a ride, a very fun experience.
Very nice to have you. Kirsten has really interesting connections, Kirsten. That's why I said, bring me people. But I found Sylvie because Sylvie and I've known each other. I said, that's it. You're coming today. And wow, it's wonderful to have you. And you have certainly globetrotted. You've certainly been around the world. And congratulations to you. You sounds like you're all entrepreneurial. Can't wait to hear about Shelley-Ann. So Shelley-Ann, welcome. I met you through Kirsten as well. And please enlighten us. Who are you? What do you do? And what's your relationship to social and AI? Go ahead.
Well, I'm a learning specialist at ThinkLP, and my background is quite varied through telecommunications, insurance, and the tech industry now. And everywhere I've been, I've always migrated very gradually or naturally, I should say, into a learning role. So that's my focus now at ThinkLP, and I absolutely adore it. I happened to meet Kirsten, funny story, poolside, and we ended up talking and discovering we were both in learning and development and have made a great connection since then. So that's been amazing. I also love mysteries of all kinds. It doesn't matter the language. So if you haven't seen Lupin, I highly recommend Lupin.
Yes, I devoured that too. Yes, I know.
Yeah, and
Wonderful.
as far as social media, my expertise is more so in learning how things work. I really love doing technical training, learning how things work, breaking those steps down for people, teaching them not just the how, but the why. And so I've really been digging into new AI tools recently and participating with Kirsten in a couple of sessions on how AI can help small businesses.
Wonderful. And what is ThinkLP? Is that your company or do you work with them, for them? What is
I
that
work
company
for
about?
them. It is a loss prevention software company and really fantastic tech that works on the Salesforce platform and helps businesses from retail to logistics and grocery, and so much more, really identify where loss is happening in their organization, help them prevent it, help them protect their people. So
Very important. I want to know more about that poolside meeting story, but we'll get to that another time.
Okay.
That's an interesting one. That's really an interesting one. Kirsten, everybody give Kirsten a round of applause for bringing Shelley-Ann and Joao and Sylvie. I'm so happy to reconnect with you. You've been with me in different ways for so many years. So let's get started on the part of the show. We're going to make this really fast. You've each sent me a fictional character quote from a movie or a TV show or a song lyric that does not talk about AI. I don't know too many that do yet, or social media. I don't know too many that do yet, but you're going to relate the quote. I'm going to read the quote with a tiny bit of background. You're going to relate it to our topic today. So let's do about 2 minutes apiece. So Kirsten has sent a quote from Poe, voiced by the wonderful Jack Black. The movie, of course, is Kung Fu Panda 4. 2024 animated martial arts comedy film produced by DreamWorks Animation. And oh, what a cast. Poe is a giant panda. I wonder if he's poolside, who is set to become a spiritual leader after renouncing his title as the Dragon Warrior. And Jack Black also voices the chameleon's form of Poe. We'll leave it there. It was a box office success, Kirsten. It so far is the fourth highest grossing film of 2024. And here's the quote. When life gives you lemons, make pear juice and blow everyone's mind. I happen to love pear juice, and I can't deal with the acid in lemons. Kirsten, what does this have to do with our topic? Go.
Well, I was thinking about how what's that saying? Something is the mother of invention, and I think AI is kind of all about innovation, and so is social media, right? And if you're something around social media isn't working for you, or you're it's not working quite right, trying something new, innovating, using it in a different way, trying, in particular with AI, using AI in a different way to generate something new, and really blowing people's minds. That was really kind of the connection I was making, that there is so much opportunity to try new things, to innovate, and innovate is one of my favorite things to do, to really kind of dig deep and make things work in a different way that will really blow people's minds.
I love that. And I think I'm an example because I use ChatGPT, which is AI and LLM, for my opening monologue poems, right? This radio show used to be only on the phone. I think you remember
Yes, I
back
remember
then,
that.
Kirsten
Yeah.
and Sylvie. You've known me that long. And then when social happened and then when streaming happened, I said, I want to see my guests and I want my audience to see them. So I added LinkedIn, Facebook, and then created a YouTube channel. And now I have so much fun posting a promo poster of my guests. You saw that, Sylvie? You reposted it yesterday, and Kirsten, and I think you all responded. So I have expanded into the social world to promote the shows. I'm not selling anything. I just want to share. So very, very interesting. Kirsten, love the quote, and I have to go buy some pear juice. I'll be leaving right after the show. I love it. Sylvie has sent us a quote, 6 words. We love the short ones. First spoken, surprisingly, by General Jan Dodana, played by an actor named Alex McCrindle. This is Star Wars Episode IV-4, A New Hope, 1977 epic space opera film, of course, written and directed by who else? George Lucas, and usually attributed to Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Alec Guinness, but however, it was originally said by Dodana. And here's the quote. Everybody knows this. May the force be with you. Sylvie, what does this have to do with our topic? Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if you remember in the film, you have to practice to get the force working. The strength comes from you finally, even if you have superpower coming from something higher than you. So you have to deserve it. And if you feel fear, anxiety, or anger, it doesn't work. And I think it's exactly the same with social media. You have to learn. You have to learn how to use it. It's a superpower that you can get if you use it properly. And if you are frightened, finally, you just restrain what you're able to do with it. And AI is something that you can't control, but it's also something that you can use to make wonderful things. And especially in social media, you have to control it and learn and stop being fearful and try to get the best out of it for the best on social. So I think there's a similarity between those two things.
Thank you very much. It is a force and it's here and it's not going away. And I think that's the message really about AI is it's not going away. And we used to talk about, Kirsten, you remember in the early days of my shows on SAP, I also did a show called Financial Excellence with Game Changers about the office of the CFO and the finance function in big companies. And the question was, are they laggards? Are they standing on the side of the pool, not adapting to automation, to technology in general? And
Yeah.
so that force, the force of tech is here, and now its faceplate says AI. There we are. Thank you very much, Sylvie. Love that quote. And let's go to Joao. And he sent another iconic quote. This one's only 4 words. We're getting, I don't know how long your quote is, Shelley-Ann. We'll have to do the math in a minute here. Joao has sent a quote from Buzz Lightyear, voiced by who else? Tim Allen. Toy Story, 1995, computer animated comedy film. Buzz Lightyear is a fictional toy space ranger, superhero, and action figure. With Sheriff Woody, he's one of the 2 lead characters in all 4 Toy Story movies. Buzz Lightyear is Woody's rival, but later becomes his BFF. And the classic line, which I'm going to read in a second, is used on T-shirts, and it's even used, wow, among philosophers and mathematical theorists. And it's the title of a book about the history of infinity, written 4 years before the movie by Eli Mayor. And the line, of course, is "To infinity and beyond." Okay, I hope I gave you something you didn't know there. Wow, how'd you pick this one? Go ahead.
Well, I think that this iconic phrase incorporates the spirit of unlimited possibilities and exploration. So it pushes in going beyond what we know. And just like Buzz and Woody wanted to explore the boundaries out of the bedroom, we are doing the same with AI. We are exploring what's out there, and we are trying to go further than ever beyond. So I think that this is the relation that I felt was very unique between this quote and the topic that we are discussing here today. And there are so many. I actually watched recently with my kids all the Kung Fu Pandas. So Kirsten, fully in line with yours, and they became really fans. The next one is actually Toy Story that is on the line. They're 5 and 8. So we're going through, and we also did Star Wars. That took us 3 weeks to see everything.
Very cool. Thank you. Love that quote. It applies to a lot. The quote that is not being used by anybody on the show, but is often used by my guests is, "You can't handle the truth," which is Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. And that's also interesting because Sylvie said, don't be afraid of AI. Well, you can't handle the truth. It's here. It ain't going anywhere. Okay, let's go to Shelley-Ann. And Shelley-Ann has sent an interesting quote. The movie is Empire Records, also 1995. It's a coming-of-age comedy drama film. The character who speaks this line is Lucas, played by an actor named Rory Cochrane. But I found the scene. Let me just set up the scene here. Lucas says, "Okay, I think things are going to be all right now, Joe." And Joe is played by the wonderful actor Anthony LaPaglia. And he says, "Oh, and what makes you think that?" And here's the line Shelley-Ann has picked. "Who knows where thoughts come from? They just appear." Lucas says, and Joe says, "What a moron." The story is about, I had to, the story is about record store employees try to stop the store from being sold to a large chain and learn about each other as people. It had box office losses, but it became a cult hit and it launched successful careers for many of the stars who were in it. Anthony LaPaglia, Maxwell Caulfield, Debbie Mazur, Rory Cochrane, Robin Tunney, Renee Zellweger, Liv Tyler was in it, and Johnny Whitworth. I know a few of those names. So who knows where thoughts come from? They just appear. Shelley-Ann, bail me out. What does this have to do with it? Go ahead.
I'm never going to take the conventional option, just so you know.
Good.
Well, I had just watched a webinar about AI and the future of AI, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And one of the things I found fascinating was how chatbots right now are predictive, and they are trying to guess what you want to hear. But in the future, they're going to be able to make their own decisions. And I was just kind of mulling that over, and that's the quote that popped into my head. Who knows where thoughts come from? That AI is going to not think for itself, but it is going to be able to make choices, make educated decisions, and that was the thought that came to mind for me.
Love it. Who knows where thoughts come from? And Shelley-Ann, when we go into these AIs, these LLMs, we put in text prompts, right? And we put in text prompts. The background you're seeing here, I created this in Night Cafe Studio. I don't use Midjourney, but the program I use for my AI art. And what you see to my right here is a red microphone inside of an hourglass. Well, that's what it created with my text prompt. And then I reproduced it 3 times in Photoshop to fill the screen and added the text. So who knows where at the moment words come from, thoughts come from, right? And who knows what it's going to give back to you. I like that. And I still will take an order of pear juice by the pool. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies. Okay. Thank you for the quotes, everyone. I don't know what you're drinking, Shelley-Ann, but it looks good. Okay. Let's go to the predictions. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to pick a prediction from each of you. I'll make them a variety to cover a wide range of our topic. I've already picked one for Kirsten, and I put it into the chat for her. And she said, okay. I will read the prediction, and then I'll ask Kirsten to take her 2 to 3 minutes, a soundbite, and explain it, unpack it. Joao, Sylvie, Shelley-Ann, if you have anything to add to what Kirsten is saying, there's a real round table. Wiggle one of your polite fingers at me, not the one I don't like in the middle. And I will call you, and then you get a 1-minute comment, rebuttal, whatever and you don't have to agree with Kirsten. She's in a very good mood today. She's got a very pretty dress on, and she's thinking of pear juice. So here we go. So the prediction I picked for Kirsten is AI tools will increasingly be used for content creation, from generating text to producing high quality images and videos, hopefully better than they are now. Kirsten, I'm not going to read the rest. I want you to give it to us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I was really coming from a place of, content creation is one of those pieces of social media that takes a lot of time. And I think this is where it's a place where AI is ripe for use, to be able to create good quality content, those images and videos. Yeah, they're not great right now. There are horses out there with 5 legs and that kind of thing. Or people's hands in the wrong places, kind of that kind of thing, that it doesn't, the quality isn't quite there yet. But those models are learning and learning and learning, as Shelley talked about, not only just predicting, but being able to think for themselves and being able to put together content that really gets to the heart of whatever it is that you're trying to promote or trying to say. And I think there's also an opportunity for the content to be really personalized. And so instead of someone having to spend a lot of time creating 6 different versions of the same thing, to be able to hit the personalization of each of their target markets, AI will create all those different versions for them and save them a heck of a lot of time in putting that together. It just is. It's going to be able to be much more easier to remain consistent, not only from a brand standpoint, but also from a content standpoint, a voice standpoint. I know that's one of the things that, particularly big businesses struggle with, is making sure that all of the content matches the brand voice that they're looking for. Even myself as a small business, I have someone who's currently working on my social media, and I have to make sure that she's also making sure that, or always making sure that the voice that I want to use is part of those messaging. And I think also from just a general posting schedule, sometimes life gets in the way, and not having time to post on a regular basis can sometimes be the downfall of people that are trying to use social media. They find it exhausting, and so AI can really help out in that way and support those who are really trying to make a difference through their social media platforms.
Thank you. You covered a lot there. I think you tiptoed into a couple of the other points we're going to bring up. So thank you very much. You have a person doing your social media. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, we'll get back to that. Anybody have any comments about content creation? Sylvie, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is when you speak about social media, all the people come first in saying, I don't know what content to deliver. I mean, this is the first thing that people come with. So I think this is where I can definitely help. I usually call AI my intern. I give him instructions and I say, please give me some start and help me with the blank page finally. And then you do what you want with it. You can tweak it. You can change the text. You can give some more instructions and saying, this is not the style I want. So there's plenty of things to do. But definitely, this is the first application we think of when we hear about AI in social media.
Content. Thank you. Shelley-Ann, join us. And then Joao. Go ahead, Shelley-Ann.
I was just thinking on that, what you said there, Kirsten, about the brand voice. I've had an experience myself where I've had to create guides for others who will be writing for the organization on what that voice is supposed to sound like, and what are all of our guidelines when writing for the organization, etc. Well, if I have content already existing, I can feed that into AI and have it tell me what is the voice. What are the standards that we are sticking to in this, and really identify that probably a lot better than I could do myself. So that's a really good point there.
Thank you. Joao, join us. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I'm so happy to hear that I'm not the only one that says thank you and please to ChatGPT, although that is strange. But I fully agree, Sylvie. I think that AI is not a replacement. It's an enabler. It's a collaborator. It's a tool that is there available to help you to do better, faster, and hopefully with better reach. So that's why and how I'm using AI today, precisely on the content side. Notary is not my area, it's my wife's area, but what I managed to come up with, she was like, okay, I just need to tweak because there's some small incorrections. And by the way, do not trust 100% on the outcomes of AI. Please do not do that. Human touch and review still needs to happen. Otherwise, there could be some serious problems for your businesses.
I have a couple of points on what all of you said, and thank you. Kirsten, great kickoff to our roundtable for predictions. Number one, please and thank you. I have a friend who is an AI guru who works with a lot of companies, helping them incorporate AI into their business processes, or as the Canadians on the panel would say, processes. I think I got that one right. And he told me, stop saying please and thank you to ChatGPT, and it will increase the time. Well, about 2 months ago, the amount of time it took to get a poem like the one I opened the show with today was about 3.5 seconds. And he said, you don't need to be polite. And I said, excuse me, I'm a nice girl from Queens, New York, and we were taught to be polite in everything we do. So I continue to say, hello, ChatGPT. I hope you're having a good day. I know I'm a lonely person, and I talk to Alexa too. And then I'd say, could you please write an opening monologue poem for me? Well, yes, of course. And then I say, thank you so much. This was wonderful. You're so fast. And we have this conversation as though it was an intern, Sylvie, as though it was somebody who was working with me and for me. Well, the time cut down from 3.5 seconds to 1.25 seconds, Shelley-Ann. So the politeness didn't change anything. If anything, I think it made it faster. I had another point I was going to bring up. Joao, what were you talking about a second ago? You added another point there. I was so excited to say that.
Not to trust fully on the outcome.
Okay. On this show, once in a while, Kirsten, you haven't been on this one yet. We ask ChatGPT and Gemini to hallucinate for us. And here's what we do. I pick a theme. I did this last week, I think, where the theme was characters named in the titles of rock and roll songs, like Jolene and Mustang Sally and Major Tom. I hope some of these are resonating with some of you. And to say what that character would say if it was a real person, and what would they say about AI if they were a real person alive today. And then we asked it to go back in time with past, P-A-S-S-E-D, past meaning no longer alive, real inventors. So somebody picked Carl Rapp, who helped invent the, I think it was the braking system for cars, and somebody did Einstein. And we asked it, wow, to hallucinate for us what these conversations would be. And that's a lot of fun, but we're asking it to pretend. We're asking it to think, what would that conversation be? And I've done it with panels on a couple of different topics, and we did it with sidekicks in movies and TV shows too. So that's where, but we know what we're getting into, and we know it's not real. So there we go. Thank you, Kirsten.
Just one last comment, because I think it's a very good example and a simple one that everyone can do. Just go to ChatGPT and ask, I just did it, how many R's are in strawberry? And you will see why you should not trust ChatGPT 100%. I will not tell you the answer. Just go
Got to
there and
pass
try
your
it for
spelling
yourself.
test. We'll don't leave the show, everybody. You can do it afterwards. Okay,
Of
there we go.
course.
We've got 5 real people watching the show right now on social. This is really good. I love a live audience. Hello to all of you. Okay, and you can all spell strawberry any way you want, and we'll have pear juice at poolside. I can't get over those comments. Okay, you're really derailing me here. Okay, Sylvie, I'm looking at prediction number 2 from you. This is interesting. You say sentiment analysis. AI will better understand and respond to, Shelley's nodding already. AI will better understand and respond to user sentiments, enabling brands to engage more effectively with their audience and tailor their communication strategy. Sylvie, I'm putting you on speaker view. Give us more, please. Unpack this.
Well, there's a lot to say in this. I would say when I was delivering social selling training, I was always telling people, you need to know your audience. You need to understand who they are, what they want, how they feel, analyze the way they talk, analyze what they're doing, and the problem is that when you are on social media, finally, you don't see humans. You see just their profile and what they write about them. So there are lots of tools that helps you to understand what are their feelings, emotions. So behind digital, there's human beings, and you need to understand them to be able to target the right message and finally decide who you're going to target first, what you're going to tell them. Before talking, you need to listen, and that listening and analyze finally emotions and maybe buying signals that you can get from that. There's also something really efficient is now that you can do facial detection. So analyze finally faces of people and get that. I tested on LinkedIn also a tool that you could include on LinkedIn profiles, and they were analyzing also the finally the psychological profile of the person, so that you can better respond to those people and know how to address them.
Very
So
interesting.
that was, yeah. And I think this is an area where there's going to be a lot of progresses.
Interesting. Anybody have comments on what Sylvie just shared? Yes, Kirsten, go ahead.
Sylvie, you're a girl after my own heart. We talked a lot about this 10 years ago. That social listening is so important, and being able to, and I think AI will bring in all of those sources together, because one of the big things that, when we were talking to sales reps 10 years ago, 8 years ago, they were always saying it takes too much time. It takes too much time to pull all those sources together, to look through everything, and to be able to analyze all of the data that you've got. And so I think AI can bring all of those sources together and make it much easier, particularly for sales reps who are on a very tight timeline, to be able to better understand their targets and better understand their prospects, and then make those much more personalized approaches.
And Kirsten, can we broaden this to be not just sales reps for companies that have reps, but for entrepreneurs like you
absolutely.
with Tyro,
Yeah.
and like Sylvie and like Shelley-Ann and like Joao and his wife, where it's reaching the audience, whether you're selling them or not. I'm not selling anything other than I'd love for you to listen to and watch my radio shows. There's no money involved here, but a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of passion. So I want people to know what's coming up. So I use for sentiment, and I use humor, and I use personality. And I sometimes say to my guests, are we allowed to have fun on LinkedIn? Am I allowed? Is somebody going to kick me off? I said something funny in my post. I said, wow, it's the last Friday. It's the last Monday in July, and it's damn hot here, and those cicadas are chirping. And oh, well, anyway, here's my show for tonight. People respond to that. And I'm going to venture a guess.
That human element is so important.
Yes, yeah. But my guess that I'm going to venture is that we're getting burned out on these heavy selling messages, these targeted messages. People want you to let them smile once in a while. Why not? Have a good time. I know you can't sell heavy duty software solutions with us in person, you can. But anyway, that's just my thing. Anybody have any other comments on Sylvie before I move on? Shelley-Ann, go ahead, please.
I'll keep it short because I don't
Yeah.
want to, it kind of crosses over into what I'm going to talk about, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that everything she was just saying really ties into what you mentioned before about being polite with ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
It is natural for us to speak in a certain way, right? And we get better responses from AI when we speak to it naturally versus trying to talk to a computer, right? So I think that that is going to become better and better for it to be able to understand that and really help us get the results we want out of that.
That was great. Joao, you want to say something before we get to your prediction? Go ahead.
Just very, very briefly, that's very important, especially now ChatGPT reads across all the chats that you have. So if you are using different chats for different topics, as you should, ChatGPT now can relate all the conversation across all the different chats. And this
That's
helps
interesting.
the tool to get to know you as a person better and improve the way that the outcome is delivered on being more personalized. I felt that there was a significant improvement in that direction.
So it knows my persona. It knows my personality. It's got a profile for me. So it knows I'm going to ask for a poem and it can make it happy. Interesting. I suspected that. That's news. Kirsten was surprised too. Yeah, polite and fun. What can we say? And who we really are. And to Shelley-Ann's point, we're real people. At least I think we are. You look like it. Okay, wow. I'm going to prediction number 2. This is interesting. You say enhanced social listening. AI will become more sophisticated in social listening, allowing brands, and we'll say people, to not only track mentions and sentiment, but also predict emerging trends and user needs. I'm going to stop there and let you unpack this. Wow, go ahead.
Well, this is pretty much a continuation of what we were just saying in terms of sentiment analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is that I have been very lucky to be able to collaborate with a company that is starting to focus on this. They moved from, okay, our platform shares content. That's great. It's helpful. There's so many different accounts, so many different networks. If I have a tool that helps me to do that, brilliant. But what we were discussing was that's not where the need is. For me, I want to understand what's happening, what's being discussed, what my audience is talking about. And this can be applied to account-based marketing. Okay, let me select the decision makers of company ABC and let me listen to what they're saying and help me to understand, because of course there's posts from 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. What's the word cloud of what this is so important audience for me? What are they talking about? And this is already starting to happen. So for me, it's a very important switch in terms of helping us to put content out there that, let's be honest, most of the times there is not the engagement that we would expect. Oh, but my webinar is so important, or my content is so amazing. Why isn't it resonating? Because probably it's not the right audience, it's not the right topic. But if we manage to, hey, let me understand what's important for this audience. Let me listen better, because with that insight, I can then follow up on something that is much more relevant for them than just me talking about my products. So that's why I listed as one of the predictions, because I've been very lucky to collaborate with this company in the development of the product. And it's amazing to start seeing the level of insights that we can get out of it. It's really impressive, and I'm super excited about the future.
Lovely. And I like the word excited. And I don't think you're lucky at all. I think you're smart. I think you're smart to collaborate with them. I think there's an element of, anyway, that's my theory on when people say I was lucky to get the job. No, you weren't lucky. You were smart in how you approached the job. You were smart in what they told you, and they were smart in hiring you. Anyway, that's just me. Wow. So forgive me. Sylvie, go ahead, comment, and then we're going to get to Shelley-Ann's prediction. Sylvie, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. It comes to what I did say. When I was running social selling, I was telling salespeople, just shut up and listen, because you want to talk about yourself and it's just boring. It's like if you go in a dinner and you speak about yourself the whole dinner, you won't be invited anymore. So, and also, yeah, social, it's just empathy. It's just understand who you're talking to and what they need. And also, it's a great way to select who you're going to deal with. If you don't listen to people, how do you know what you're going to tell them? So it's very, very important, even more than content, to listen first, and to so you better target people and you're more interesting to people. So
Thank you. Being interesting to people. That's a good thing. Thank you, Joao. I'm going to go to Shelley-Ann's prediction here, number 2. You say AI chatbots and virtual assistants will become more advanced, providing instant customer service with more accurate responses. They'll be easier to converse with, making interactions feel more human-like, which you brought up before. Why don't you take us through this, Shelley-Ann? Go ahead.
I think we've touched on a lot of what I was going to say already. Talked about how we have predictive AI already, but in future state we'll have agents that will be able to make autonomous decisions, handle complex queries, perform actions on behalf of users without human interaction, right? Or intervention, I should say. We've got natural language processing, which helps with context understanding and leading to more accurate and relevant responses. And that's just going to continue improving. At the pace that things are changing, there's no choice but to continuously work on improvements for AI. It has to keep up, right? So this context understanding will improve. Detecting emotional tone, as was mentioned before, that's going to improve as well. And it's really going to help interactions feel more empathetic and human-like. There's probably going to be more omni-channel integration with seamless support across multiple different social media channels. And you'll be able to integrate things such as Alexa or that other that I won't mention, or she'll start listening over on my phone.
You think?
And
Mine's right here. Go ahead.
right? Yeah. And that's just only going to keep growing, right? I think it's important that we look at there's going to be the benefits of improved accuracy, personalization, efficiency, user satisfaction. But with all of that in mind, we also have to keep those ethical considerations front of mind, like transparency, right? Users need to know when they're interacting with a chatbot versus a human. They need to know how their data is going to be used. We need to be accountable to being and responsible for that data. But I think there's a whole world ahead of us.
Thank you very much, Shelley-Ann. I'm planning a show in September on the future of AI assistants, personal assistants, virtual assistants. Would you like to come on that panel?
Sure.
Okay, I'll send you an invitation. I'm currently
Thank you.
recruiting people for that topic. That's anybody have anything to add? We've got about 6 minutes left. Since Sylvie, go ahead.
yeah, this is something, that wasn't my prediction one, content creation and moderation. And I think we speak a lot about with AI about content creation, but not a lot about content moderation. And at the moment, we hear a lot of bad things about what's delivered on social, what is true or what is fake. Is it a real voice or not? People are managing images, making people saying things they haven't said. And so I think there's a lot to do on this topic, on how we can make social media more secure, more trustable, with AI and fake detection, or fake people detection, or fake voices detection.
Very well put. I'll tell you all of you, a quick example that has nothing to do with AI, but has to do with people being transparent and real. I recently had a beautiful new shower installed in my master bathroom, and I worked with a company that did a great job. It cost, I won't tell you how much, but they sent me a thank you about 2 weeks later, and it was a a bag, a beautiful little bag of very, very tiny, very crisp chocolate chip cookies. I'd never seen anything like it. And I ate them a couple at a time a day while I was watching my French detective shows. And I had an idea, and I wrote to the gentleman who supposedly is a CEO, keeps emailing me, would you please give a referral? You know, we're based on referrals. And well, not that kind of money. I'm not referring to anybody I know right now. But the point is that I had an idea, and I wrote to him, and I said, his first name is Brian. And I said, Brian, instead of sending cookies, which are something that just go poof once you eat them and you have a nice memory of how good they tasted, I use a squeegee to wipe the water off of the walls of this beautiful new shower every time I shower. Wouldn't it be nice if you branded the squeegee with the logo and a thank you on it and sent that to all of your clients so that every time they take a shower, your brand is there in the shower with them when they wipe the water off the walls? Well, the point I'm telling all of you this, and we got to go in a couple minutes, is that Brian did not respond, but somebody did and said, we'll give Brian the message. Do you know how turned off I was? It was an assistant. It was I don't know. I don't think it was AI, but somebody answered that email and said, oh, thank you. We'll give Brian the message. And I thought, seriously, you're sending me emails from the CEO of the company and he's not even behind them. I would have rather he be there. I would rather talk to Brian. I thought my idea was brilliant. Everybody who thinks my idea is brilliant, raise their hand. There you go. Wouldn't you want? Yeah, I know. I have a little postcard in my bathroom on the back of the toilet that says, thank you, Bonnie D, from and the name of the company. But instead of a dime store. Anyway, one quick comment from each of you around the table. We've got about 2 minutes left. Let's start with Kirsten. 2 sentences about where you see the benefits of AI and social media going. Kirsten, top line, go.
I would say that the biggest benefit is for people to be able to have a wide variety of content, high quality content that is really, personalized for them and their target market, and in a rapid period of time. But authenticity is key.
She knows how to string one sentence together into, okay, good. Very well done. Sylvie, 1 sentence, 2 sentences, go fast. Beat.
Yeah, I think it's very useful to increase your performance on social media, simply because you gain time, you get data, you get content. The system learns how to do it from you. It personalizes, it adapts. So performance is what you get.
Thank you. Joao, 2 sentences, go.
Focus on your prompts. If you do good prompts, you'll get good outcomes, but always follow up. And the confession, I'm very polite to ChatGPT, but I'm usually very rude to Siri and Alexa. They're always telling them to shut up all the time. So,
Shelley-Ann, 2 sentences, go. We're just about done.
I think that as this becomes more and more available and there's more tools, it's going to allow smaller companies to create high quality content faster, competing with larger companies and leveling that playing field.
Lovely. And I'm glad I subtitled this show, The Future of Social Media and AI, Let's Get Engaged. That's the word I was looking for. It took me a while last night to figure out what I was going to put on that poster, but I did. Let's get engaged. And I don't know how many proposals I'll get after this. Okay, everybody, raise your finger. We're going to say on the count of 3, you're going to join me in yelling, no, no, no. I've got 1 minute left. People say, come on, everybody, raise your finger. Index finger up. Sylvie, Joao, come on, everybody. Okay, on the count of 3, you're going to yell, no, no, no. People say the future is already here, and our answer is 1, 2, 3. No. That's because the sentence I just said was in the future when I was thinking about it. Now it's in the past. The future hasn't happened yet, but it's coming really fast. I'm Bonnie D. I want to thank Kirsten. I want to thank Sylvie. I want to thank Joao. And I want to thank Shelley-Ann for being my guest today. Everybody wave goodbye to social. And it's either Jordan or Matt is our engineer because I think they changed while we were doing the show. And wave goodbye to LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube and Voice America. And whoever my engineer is, are we done? Tell me. Don't go away, guess. Are we out?
All clear.